Happy Sunday. Happy 9-year anniversary. So this is my third time recording this, and I've started crying every single time that I was going to record this, so I decided to write it down. So I'm going to read this because this is what I wanted to say, and I kept crying every time. So here it goes. So to a lot of people, you would think, why are you crying? It's just coffee. But it's so much more than coffee. You guys had a choice and you chose us. You've chosen us over and over again for 9 years. To someone like me, this is something that turned into a business with the help of my family and friends. A business that I lost sleep over. A business that taught me what it feels like to experience real failure. A business that I was able to rely on for income during an unsure and scary time during the pandemic. It has brought thousands of people into my life, all of which supported me through a pandemic, watched us grow, cheered us on through every failure and every success. I'm crying because this coffee is the greatest adventure of my life. Okay, here I start crying again. Have you ever felt alone, alienated, or as if you don't belong? That was me. Like many of you, I struggled with lack of self-acceptance for many years. I longed to belong to something. I spent years desperately trying to be somebody else, someone I thought was worthy of being loved. As time went on, I buried the trauma and rejection of bullying, while anxiety from judgment of others surfaced and began to haunt me. It was then that I started to reclaim my identity and figure out who I truly was. I always wanted to be a part of a community where I felt I belonged and was part of something greater than just myself. A community that was more compassionate, less judgmental, more accepting, and more generous. As I grew into myself, I became an entrepreneur. Through my cafe business, I was able to create a mission I had always wished to be a part of. Working at a battered women's shelter solidified the need for people to feel seen, appreciated, and loved. Every woman who lived there had a story that paralleled one that most of us feel. A story that faced uncertain futures and struggles to survive, but they knew that they wanted to be a part of a community that was more compassionate, less judgmental, and more accepting. They all had the same desire of wanting to be loved, supported, accepted, and appreciated. When I was young, I always wanted a platform to make a difference like my parents had made, by giving back to the community. Woo. I remember my parents would buy food or clothes to help those less fortunate. My dad always made giving a priority. My most memorable moment, one that is forever etched in my mind, was when my mom purchased a Christmas tree for a woman that didn't have one. The family was without electricity and water, but just wanted to celebrate one last Christmas together before they lost their home. My favorite tradition growing up was when my parents would pay for people's groceries. The pure shock and appreciation from the customers was the driving force behind this act of kindness. I realized that inspiring people and encouraging them can literally change the direction of their life and empower not only a person, but an entire community, then a region, and eventually a nation. Our cafe's mission was a spark, and that spark soon spread like wildfire because we wholeheartedly believed in our mission. And we knew how many people were struggling to be a part of something greater than them. And so, Cafe Fresco was born. It started with the belief that we have the power to brighten someone's day, to be that positive in their life, and essentially change the world, one random act of kindness at a time. It began 9 years ago with a small tip jar that sits on the counter at the cafe. Most people buy their coffee and may leave $1 in the tip jar, but few pay attention to the description it bears. It reads, "Every week we choose a deserving person to donate the tip jar funds to, realizing that not all are given the same opportunities and may have encountered some misfortunes. Every week we clear out the jar and find a cause. One small act of kindness can make a difference to someone. Too often, we believe that we are unable to make an impact, but making a difference takes time. If you let kindness be the seed, you'll be amazed at what will grow. When you focus on the act of kindness, it creates a ripple effect, and you'll make a difference in ways you never imagined. It doesn't mean some grandiose gesture, Just do good every day. You may be the only one that noticed the person or made them feel loved. I've seen the power of small acts of kindness and acceptance many times at the cafe. That is what helps us feel seen, appreciated, and loved. Today, our cafe is celebrating its 9th anniversary. Woo. And 2022 is our best year yet. These 9 years haven't been easy. They've consisted of many, many sleepless nights. But over these years, I've gained confidence as a business owner, and my vision for the cafe has become clear. Our country is so divided right now because of things like political parties, race, gender. You know what's not going to change the world? Sweeping generalizations about people you've never met. You know what is going to change the world? Bettering one person's day and letting the ripple effect take care of the rest. I had a conversation recently with a friend who asked me to name one thing that this country needs right now. We need kindness. We need to help others when there's nothing in it for us. We need to pay it forward because we believe, seemingly against all indications of the contrary, that maybe they will pay it forward too. I've never been more proud of the cafe. I've never been more proud to call all of you our family, our Fresco family. Whew. It's hard to put into words what these 9 years have meant to me. I could have never anticipated the friendships and relationships I built over the years. It's been an amazingly humbling, gratifying, and strengthening experience. The cafe has allowed me to meet amazing people and become inspired by their stories. Our goal throughout this was to give back to the community, but it's become so much more than that. It's opened my eyes to the many facets of life and reminded me exactly why life is worth living. The universe does not give you what you want, but rather what you need. And looking back now, we know exactly why these people were placed into our lives. Thank you for being part of our Fresco family. So again, why am I crying? It's just coffee. It's so much more than coffee. You had a choice and you chose us. You've chosen us over and over and over again for 9 years. Whew. I'm crying because this cafe is the greatest adventure of my life. And thank you for believing in us and staying with us throughout these 9 years. So on that note, I tried not crying, but happy Sunday.